Good morning everyone. Today I will talk about the DNA replication. So as far as we are concerned, there is completion of fourth unit, that's nothing but third unit, which includes lipid metabolism and protein metabolism. I almost covered the topics, different cycles which are present in those, and there is a small introduction about the diseases. That means diseases which are associated with the carbohydrate metabolism and the diseases which are associated with the lipid and protein metabolism. In the next classes, I will tell those topics. And this has come to the fourth topic, which includes nucleotide metabolism. In this topic there is different topics, and the first basic one is structure and functions of DNA and RNA. These topics I covered in the previous classes, that were in the first unit. And the other topics which are included are synthesis and degradation of purine and therapeutic nucleotides. For example, thymine, uracil, adenine, guanine. So these compounds, synthesis and degradation. Those topics I forwarded to you people in the WhatsApp. Just refer those topics. And coming to the next topic, there is three more important topics in this fifth unit, which is vast topics. So I am giving you in a concise manner. If you want any other details, you can go for the textbook and other journals. The three important topics which are in these unit are DNA replication, transcription and translation. First I am going to deal with the DNA replication. Initially we know about the structure of DNA and its functions. So what is the basic function of DNA is? It is the reserve bank of genetic material. So from one generation to another generation, for the transfer of genes, DNA plays a very important role. It is the central bank of the genetic information. And what is replication means? Replication is the process in which DNA is itself divided into the two daughter molecules. That means replication. Consider it as a parent DNA which has two strands which are embedded in a helix manner. So coming to replication, what happens in replication is, in this replication parent molecule is divided into the two daughter molecules. In those two daughter molecules, one molecule is from the parent DNA and that means one strand is from the parent DNA and other strand it prepares itself. So if a DNA is taken, it is divided into the two daughter molecules. In those two daughter molecules, one strand is from the parent DNA and the other strand it itself prepares in its own way. So in other way also, take another daughter molecule, one is from the parent DNA and the other one it is synthesizes itself. So for this purpose, we are telling the DNA replication process as the semi-conservative process, because only half of the portion from the parent molecule it gains and half of the portion it prepares in its own way. So coming to replication, DNA replication is the process in which DNA is itself divided into the two daughter molecules, and in those two daughter molecules the process is semi-conservative. That means half is from the parent molecule and the other half is it prepares it in its own way. And coming to small introduction about this replication, transcription and translation. DNA itself provides the two daughter molecules and this process is called as replication. From the DNA sometimes we prepare the RNA and the synthesis of RNA from DNA is called as transcription. And there is one more process from which from RNA we can prepare the proteins and this process is called as translation. So these are the three more important topics. That means DNA replication is the formation of two daughter molecules, transcription is the synthesis of RNA from the DNA and translation synthesis of protein from the RNA. Now I am going to discuss about DNA replication. Initially we know that it is a semi-conservative process. Half molecule is from the parent molecule and half molecule is from the new molecule. And for the separation of DNA into its daughter molecules, that means for the DNA replication process, we must need an initiation point, and that initiation point at which DNA replication starts is called as origin of replication. So for this process we need a specific protein which is called as DNA. So this DNA, which is a specific protein which is composed of different types of monomers, attaches at the origin of replication and helps in the separation of strands. And next one is, mostly this process is occurs in the pi' to q' direction, and in those conditions there is two strands. First one is leading strand. Initially I told that in the DNA genetic matter resides in the leading strand. So one strand in which genetic material is present is called as leading strand and the other strand is called as lagging strand. So in this leading strand the process of replication is continuous, and in those lagging strand the process of replication is semi-continuous. So that means not in a continuous way. And also for this DNA replication, we need a compounds which are called as primosomes. So what is the function of these primosomes is they help in the production of RNA primers. Which again helps in the replication process. And these primosomes are mainly formed from an enzyme primase, which is also nothing but a DNA polymerase enzyme. So there is an enzyme DNA polymerase which is called as primase, which helps in the production of chromosomes, which finally helps in the production of RNA primer, which helps in the replication process. So this is a small thing about the DNA replication. So what is DNA? What is the definition of DNA replication? The diagram associated with that, and why the process is called as semi-conservative, and where the initiation takes place. That means at which point. And for this initiation, two types of compounds are necessary. One is protein, which is DNA, and second one is enzyme primosomes, which are from the DNA primase and which helps in the production of RNA primer. And there is also some of the few enzymes which plays very important role in the process of separation of DNA. So, and before going to that, there is a small point, that is replication fork. So at the site of origin of replication, the process of replication takes place. For the conclusion of that and also for the separation of strands, we need a point which is called as replication fork. So replication fork is used for the separation of strands. And there is an important enzymes, DNA helicases. These enzymes act as the replication fork, and they bind at this point and they move in the zip manner and help in the separation of strands. That means assume that this was the replication fork for the separation of DNA strands. And these DNA helicases attaches at this point and they are moves along with the replication fork in a zip-like manner. So there is separation of DNA strands takes place. So they attach at the replication fork and they move along with the replication force in a zip-like manner, and they helps in the separation of strands. And next important is SSB, single-stranded DNA binding protein. SSB means single-stranded DNA binding protein. So it plays a very important role in the DNA replication. So after the completion of separation of strands, it plays a very important role because it keeps the two strands separate. So along with separation of two strands, that means they are with help of the DNA helicases, the strands are already separated. So these SSB proteins, they attaches to these two strands and they separate them. That means to keep them separate, they plays a very important role. And apart from that, they also produces the new strand, and they also helps in the prevents the degradation of new strands. So that means the strands are separated. To keep them separate and also to develop the new strand and also to prevent them from the degradation, SSB, single-stranded DNA binding proteins, plays a very important role. And next important enzyme which is involved is DNA polymerase 3. So DNA polymerase 3, which mainly helps in the catalysis of synthesis of DNA strand. So that means for the separated strands, for the initiation of new strand, DNA polymerase 3 plays a very important role. So after the separation, for the separation, DNA ligases are acted, and to keep them separate and also to prevent from the degradation, SSB plays a very important role. And after that, for the creation of new strands, DNA polymerase 3 plays a very important role. So they catalyze the synthesis of DNA strands, and they also keep the attachment of incoming deoxyribonucleotides. After the separation of new strand, it itself develops a new strand. For this process, there must be an attachment of deoxyribonucleotides in their respective way. So for this attachment, DNA polymerase 3 plays a very important role. So this was a little bit about the DNA replication. If you need even a vast, you can go for the textbooks, journals and some all other PDFs.